What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Millionaire in the Making podcast. My name is Gage.
Justin.
And we have a very special episode for you guys today, but if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so before we get into this thing. All right, hopefully you subscribe by now. I'm going to kick it to Justin to kind of introduce our guest.
All right, so I've known Casey for a while now. Some of you might even recognize him. We've got a very special guest today, okay? He is a little bit different than most of the people we've had on. So go ahead and tell them first, where can they find you, your name, and what you do for a living right now.
Yeah, so my name's Casey Overby. You guys can find me on TikTok, and that's basically what I do for a living is TikTok, social media, a lot of different platforms, just kind of bouncing around.
Okay, that's interesting stuff. Where'd you get started in social media? What app did you start on?
So initially was Vine, rest in peace Vine. Initially it was Vine, which was like the first time you really saw people doing these short format videos and actually making money on social media.
That's crazy. So what year was that? Maybe 2016?
This was probably like 2014 or 13, to be honest with you.
And you popped off on Vine, or you didn't pop off till TikTok?
No, I did pretty well on Vine, which you got to remember numbers were a little different back then. So I ended Vine with 250,000 followers, which
probably
in
like 2.5 mil on TikTok.
That's a lot, So yeah, Vine was really good. That was, like I said, that was when you first started seeing like you can make an income through social media. People didn't know that was even a thing yet, aside from like YouTube, which was even more rare then too.
Yeah, that's crazy. So, I mean, I know the numbers on TikTok are super inflated. So like maybe say you get a 10K brand deal on TikTok and Vine, that was like what, maybe $150, $200?
Yeah, so the numbers were definitely way different. But again, it was new back then. So being 19 years old and getting offered $100 and some free clothes was pretty cool, and now it's definitely different. I would say like upwards of like 5 to 10 times more.
Yeah, that's crazy. I know the money's definitely flown in. Let me ask you this on how would I put this? What are the main differences since you were on Vine and now on TikTok? A lot of people weren't really on Vine back in the day. I guess a lot of us are younger and TikTok's kind of like our app. What are the main differences that you see?
To be blunt, man, I think Vine was way harder. Vine was something that it was definitely a shorter format, so it was a 6-second maximum.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So like if you wanted to make like especially like comedy videos, you had to like hook people in, like you know what I mean, like you had to get it done quick. And there definitely wasn't like all these dances and all this bullshit you see on TikTok. Like you didn't see that on Vine at all.
That's crazy. I was really too young to really remember Vine. How like say TikTok, I see some videos getting 10, 20, 30 million. What was Vine's like? Big videos.
Yeah, again, they were definitely smaller. I want to say like my biggest video on Vine was probably like 1.2 million views. So, definitely a little different. But like I said, those numbers were crazy back then. Like that was unheard of. Like actually, I specifically remember hitting 10,000 on Instagram and everybody was freaking the fuck out. They're like, dude, you have 10,000 on Instagram? But now, like, every female has 10,000 followers.
Did Vine have, like, a direct link to Instagram like TikTok does?
It did not, no.
Oh, so that was tough.
Yeah. It was all about, like, pushing people to other platforms.
Dang, that's interesting.
That's something we're struggling with right now is pushing people to other platforms.
Yeah. No, it's definitely tough. I don't know. But it does help, like you said, with TikTok having, like, all, like, a link you can put, and then as well as you can like actually link your Instagram and your YouTube. So
how many followers you got right now
on TikTok?
Yeah,
1.2 million, almost 1.3.
What about Instagram?
Instagram, I think is like 65,000 or something.
Okay. Are you just not pushing Instagram harder, or is it just like
Instagram? It's just weird, man. People fall off really fast on Instagram, I've noticed. And then there's also a lot of like those fake accounts. I'm sure you guys see it, where like you'll see all these numbers go up and then like randomly Instagram will do a sweep and these numbers will go down. So Instagram's definitely a little weird. I do think that Reels coming in is going to make a big difference for people if people are actually consistently posting. You can get some big numbers on there and then develop a lot of followers through that as well.
I mean, from what I've seen, dude, Instagram's just a bitch. Like, it's just so tough.
It is a bitch. So I've always said about Instagram, the thing about Instagram is like, this is more like, Instagram isn't the one that you want to build. That's the one that you want to build after you've built whatever your main platform is. So it's like, this is like your diary, but what are you going to do to get people interested in your diary? You know what I mean? You got to do something else. People aren't just going to like jump in and be like, oh, I want to see what this dude takes pictures of every day. Like they're not going to fall in love with that. They're going to fall in love with whatever content you're putting out here. And then they're going to be so interested in you that now they want to keep up with your everyday life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. I think Instagram I mean, when I think about Instagram, I just think it's like the easiest way to contact somebody because their DMs are probably the most built out at the moment.
For sure.
But you were talking about what program or like platform you would build on. Are you TikTok your main thing, or would you say to build on YouTube if you were just starting out? Like, what is the end all be all number one platform to you?
I guess it really depends on like what your goal is and what you're trying to do. Like this year, I specifically have been pushing every platform. So when I post on TikTok, I also post simultaneously on a Facebook page, YouTube, and Instagram Reels. So I would say the end goal for anybody is like, it's pretty obvious, is YouTube. Like YouTube is the one that's like, it's not going anywhere. It's been around long. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. The monetization on there is really good. The pay is insane compared to every other platform. So YouTube's definitely the one that I would say is like the end goal, but TikTok is probably the easiest, I would say. TikTok's the one where you can really pop off fast with hardly any followers.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Me and Justin have been really trying to build on YouTube lately.
Yeah.
And we've pushed, what do you think? We've done 120 videos in like the past month?
There's been like 170 videos in like a month.
That's
so
insane.
170. The question I would ask is quantity or quality?
Dude, honestly, a lot of people are going to disagree, but I think quantity all the way, especially starting out, and not only quantity, but variety. I've always said that to people that are like, okay, look, I really want to build a channel. What should I do? First off, if your goal is to get big numbers and make money off of it, you got to throw all your bullshit aside. Like this whole like, oh, this is me. If people don't like it, I don't care. This is what I'm pushing. That shit's got to get thrown out the window if your goal is to make money and have big numbers, because sometimes that's not the case. So I say find like 10 different categories, make 10 different types of videos, and just pump those out. And then slowly you can start seeing which ones are doing better than others and start knocking ones off the list. And then you end up with 3 categories, 2, 1, whatever.
I hear you. Yeah, that's an interesting take. I always like to hear differing opinions on that. Let me ask you this, 'cause this is a theory that I've always had. So when I first started on my TikTok journey, I guess you could say, I would like test videos. So I'd post a video and it'd get like 10,000 views, but oh, this one's kind of hot. Right. Wait a month, post it again. Wait a month, post it again. And I've always had the theory, and it's worked on a couple of videos, that like if a video hits, just keep tweaking and reposting it, and it's going to pop. Do you think that's valid, or what do you think about like getting viral videos over time?
Yeah, I mean, I think if there's something to say about a video that pops off, obviously. So something you did is right. So playing to that style is really good. You know what I mean? Like I had a video on TikTok that popped off a few years ago, 2 years ago, of Halloween, of me and my girlfriend in like these funny costumes or whatever. And it popped off like right now it's over like 100 million views across all platforms. So it popped off. Like Chive TV put it on their channel. Like it was huge. So the following year we basically did the same thing, just in different costumes. Same thing happened. You know what I mean? So like sticking to what, like I said, it's finding what people like you do, like you doing. You know what I mean? So like just sticking to whatever that style is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I think I agree on that one, to be totally honest. And speaking on that one video, I was checking out your page, and I saw the video you're talking about. You're dressed in like the
Lord Farquaad, yeah.
Yeah, Lord Farquaad. What blew my mind is like I've always thought that if somebody reposts that video on another account on TikTok, it's not going to work. But I think your girl reposted it and it hit again.
Yeah, so that video has been reposted on so many different accounts, reposted on my account. That video is blown up. I would say like 95% of the accounts that have put random accounts on Instagram, I get tagged in it to this day. It's been 2 years. I still get tagged like once a month and somebody posting that. And it'll hit like 50,000, 100,000 on like Instagram, Facebook. It's been on like Snapchat, like on the World Star Snapchat. It's been on there. It's been everywhere.
Heck yeah, that's cool.
100 million?
Yeah, across all platforms, 100 million at least.
Let's ask the question. How much money did you make off that?
Off of that one? Ooh, okay. So it's kind of weird. So I got paid through TikTok for that video. And then I also got paid, like Chive paid me. And so like it was multiple different income sources. I know through TikTok alone, it was roughly like $16,000.
Jesus. Okay. I thought that number was going to come back a lot lower, but okay.
No, so it was about 16,000, but that was also not the original because I reposted it again, and I want to say it hit like 25 million-ish on the second one. So yeah, it was like 15 or 16,000 for that, and then I don't know. I would guess maybe another like 5,000 or so from like all the other platforms and stuff.
I got you. What are the ways you monetize TikTok in general?
Man, so honestly, TikTok is great because it's so easy to make money on it. It's so easy, and they give you so many different options. And honestly, I haven't even kept up with it lately because there's so many different options. But you can go live, you can make money. They have the creator fund where you can make money. They have brand deals that are specifically through TikTok now, to where like a company can contact you through TikTok. There's just so many ways to make money, and I think that's why you now see so many people trying to make content, is because there's so many ways to make money. And if you're on your grind, like, there's no excuse. Like, you don't even, and at this point, you don't even have to have a skill to make money, like, for real. You see it, you know? So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting to hear you say, because you say it's so easy to make money, but I can probably attest that a lot of people who have a lot of followers aren't making dick. I mean, that was a bad way to put it. They aren't making shit.
Again, I think it goes back to, and because I have these conversations with a lot of people. I think a lot of people are just so stubborn. So many people want to stick to, like, this is me. This is the type of content I'm pushing. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to conform to whatever. And, like, that's fine if you want to be that. If you think you're standing on this mountain and you're like, this is where I'm dying, all right, that's fine. But don't let me hear you bitching about not making money and not having big numbers, because that's the reality of it. Like, you have to do what people want to see. That's how this works. Like, of course, there's, like, lucky people. Some people will get lucky and, like, yeah, this is them. They blew up for being just them. But it's so rare. Yeah,
you got to be a special kind of person. I always, I work in, like, the, creator to brand space. So I think this would be an interesting question to ask. What are your thoughts? Well, I'm assuming most of your revenue comes from, like, brand deals and stuff over TikTok. Like, those pay more?
Yeah, but so brand deals are inconsistent, right? So obviously, you could have 1 month where 20 different companies will contact you to do a campaign for them, or you might have 1 month where 5 will contact you. So it's kind of a weird question, to be honest, just because something like the creator fund is consistent, because that's every single day. It's adding up all your views throughout all your videos every single day. So at the end of each day, it tells you made X amount of dollars across all your videos today. But like you said, like, I might get an ad and they'd be like, all right, I'm going to pay you $1,500 for a 14-second video. So you know what I mean? So it kind of bounces around. And then even with the lives, like, sometimes I've gone live before for an hour and made $3,000. You know what I mean? So but I've also gone live for 2 hours and made $200. So
yeah, that's still not bad.
It's weird numbers, though. You know what I mean? Like, the numbers are just super, like, there's no way to really know, I
mean, yeah, you're going live just chilling at the crib. Some people are working, 3 weeks. Yeah. More than 3 weeks to make $3,000. Working a full month to make $3K.
Right.
But on the brand side of things, just I work with brands and stuff, and we always tell brands, like, these creators have no idea what to charge. Like, genuinely, like, so you're probably more established and you know your rates, or you know what you should be worth.
Right.
But I mean, what do you say to these creators who have, maybe 100K, 500K, $1 million? Like, what should they charge? Because I think that's such an unanswered question that nobody really talks about. It's like taboo in the industry.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something. It's a slippery slope. You have to be careful with it, because all these brands talk, for sure, especially now. Like, now there's a lot of, like, third-party companies that all the brands talk to that company, and then that company reaches out to creators. So it's a slippery slope, because if they find out that, let's just say, this guy with 500,000 followers is doing ads for $100, and this other guy was trying to get 400 for it, they're gonna just go to this $100 guy every single time. So it's definitely a slippery slope. But you kind of have to dive into, like, analytics. You have to see, like, the engagement. You have to see the amount of views they're averaging, the amount of comments they're getting, their audience, and the diversity depending on the product. So, like, every time I get contacted, I really dive into, like, all right, what is this product? What age group is this pushing towards, because if it's something that specifically goes to my style of audience, then I'm going to jack the price up a lot more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you big on that? Like, say somebody wants you to post on your page. Are you kind of anal about what brands can get on there and what can't based off your brand?
Yeah, definitely. And that actually came from just a mistake. So I did one for, like, an NFT a while back, and
oh, you got hate.
Yeah, you know how that goes. So it was good, quick, easy money. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, you definitely got to be careful and just kind of choose wisely. You know what I mean? Something that you are cool with having your name behind.
I hear you. Justin, you got any questions for on the social media side?
I am not that experienced with social media. I mean, I've been doing it for 10 years just on a business perspective, but not ever really personal. So I'm on the opposite side of this for once. So I'm absorbing everything that you're saying. I guess my question would be, if you first had to start out, how would you monetize it on a smaller scale? Because there's a lot of people, I've been doing, 40, 60 hours a week of social media between me and you, and we have a team of 4 now. I mean, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand it's a full-time job to push social media.
For sure.
Unless you're like just taking like a 30-second like dance video throughout the day. Like,
which would be nice.
It would be nice, but that's just not the case for us. So if you were first starting out, like your account just gets banned tomorrow, how would you restart to try to build it back up?
I would, just like I said, I would just go out and I would just start pumping out like 5 videos a day, but not only 5 videos a day. I would post 5 completely different videos a day. Okay. I would post like 1 comedy video, 1 podcast style video, 1 like inspirational video, 1 prank video, 1 whatever. I would just pick like 5 different styles and just post those and really see. I would do that for probably like a week or 2 and just see which ones are really doing better and like the type of engagement I'm getting, and then hone in on that crowd. Once you see that going well, that's when you really just got to target that one crowd. And then going live on TikTok is super important too, because that's like you actually engaging with your followers, So like when you're talking to these people every day and they're looking forward to, as soon as I get home from work, I'm going to go listen to this guy and see what he's talking about today. When you're doing that, like that's just all the more reason for people to keep up with you, all the more reason for them to check out your other platforms, So just really honing in and engaging with everyone as much as possible.
Okay. Now, what about collaborations? Like, do you team up with other influencers? Can you use other people's networks and you can both grow together, or is that just not the best way to approach it?
I mean, I think it really depends on your type of content. So, like for me personally, I haven't done too much with people. I've met a lot of people that are really big on TikTok. Gone out to like LA and met all those folks. But for me, it's just a little different because like a lot of my stuff is like this face to phone, just funny comedy joke stuff. So it's kind of hard for me to collab, but I guess it just depends on your content. Like if it was like some podcast stuff, absolutely. Or if it's like, if you're one of those weird dancers, for sure. Like if you know another guy that can get 50 million views for swinging his arms and throwing invisible stuff in there, for sure, dance with that guy. But I think it's just based on what your content is. You know what I mean?
Okay. So here's just a little personal one. Who is the best celebrity that you've met so far?
Ooh.
You told me a story one time. Was it Dan Bilzerian? You didn't really meet him. You were just in the same room as him, right?
Yeah. I would say, damn, that's a tough one.
Who did you fangirl over the most when you met them?
Oh, who did I Lionel Messi, for sure.
Damn, where'd you see him?
So I watched, they had a game in Miami, probably 8 to 10 years ago. And Messi was always like my idol growing up, you know what I mean? So I was like, dude, I gotta go. And ended up just making friends with people, getting lower and lower and lower to the field. And then eventually ended up getting backstage after the game and got to meet like him and Iniesta and Xavi and all them. And that was the first time that I ever froze up.
That would probably make a lot of people cry.
Oh, I cried. I didn't. I'm not even gonna lie. I cried. Like I just froze up and like it was one of those like you know what I mean? Like it was.
Is Messi the GOAT in your eyes?
100%. 100%, man.
Interesting take.
I could probably agree with that. I mean,
are you a Ronaldo guy? Is that what that is?
No. I mean, I think he just capped it off with what he just did, to be honest. I think it was, teetering, but I think he just capped it.
I think the biggest question with that is if you made a team, a legendary team, and it came down to Ronaldo or Messi, who are you picking?
Yeah,
I feel like
Messi.
If you say Ronaldo, you're out of your mind, man. Like as a team player, and you want this team to do well this whole season, you're getting Messi.
I need somebody who's going to pass the ball if they need to. Ronaldo ain't passing that.
No, not at all.
I got a question that I think would help out the viewers a lot. So if you were going to create an account and you wanted to, blow up and become viral or just have a lot of followers in general, would you chase virality or would you build a true loyal following?
See, that's, I guess,
hard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on, again, what are you willing to do? Because like for me, I attempted different routes, right? But there was also routes that I was like, I'm not doing that. Like these dances, you know what I mean? Like I was like, all right, I'm going to try these 3 things, but I'm not doing that shit. That's not happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I guess it really, I guess that's a personal thing. You know what I mean? Like, what are you willing to do? Because I know a lot of people that clearly they are cool with selling out. Let me do whatever these moves are, and you know, maybe that works for you. But I don't know. I think there's just so many ways that you can blow up, and you at this point you never know what's gonna blow up. Like anything can.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Like, do you ever feel like you like put an hour into one video, it does shit, and you just throw one up and it pops off?
Yes, absolutely. That's probably the most annoying thing about social media. I've spent hours planning a video, making a video, editing a video, posting it, and it does awful. And then I've also like this is not made up. Like, I've literally been watching TV at like midnight and then came up with a stupid idea, turned the lights on, filmed myself saying something stupid, woke up in the morning, 1 million views. Yeah. So it's like,
that's frustrating.
Very, very. That's the life.
It's the algorithm right there. Let's jump into that, because I think this will help out Justin as well, kind of understanding social media. I've done a lot of deep dives into, like, you know, people saying what they think the algorithm is and what works and what doesn't. What is your thought on the algorithm? Let's just go TikTok's algorithm.
So I'm going to be honest, man. I don't think anybody knows what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to the algorithm. I don't think there's a way to figure it out. I don't think there's a way to beat it. I think that they don't want you to figure it out. I think as soon as they see you trying to figure that shit out, that's when they're like, nah, we're not even fucking with this guy. I think if they see you like, oh, he's still grinding, he's still posting stuff, he's still being consistent, eventually that will pay off. And then I don't know how long it takes, but eventually it will pay off, and eventually your stuff will start popping off again. Or for the first time.
Yeah, I think one thing's for certain is that the algorithm like values watch time, because what app wouldn't, right? They want to keep the viewers or users on their app. But one thing that I've noticed a lot recently, like, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but the one thing that I like genuinely think the algorithm hates the most is you putting link in bio on your freaking videos.
Yes. I
don't know why. Maybe they don't want you to click off their site. I don't know.
So the way I've always explained social media, whether it's TikTok or whatever, I've always explained it. You have to treat social media like a girlfriend, right? And that sounds really weird, but you can pertain this to literally everything when it comes to social media. So when you're on social media, they don't want you pushing anything else. Just like if you're with your girl, she doesn't want you talking about this girl over here and this girl over here. Everything needs to be about her, and you need to give her as much attention as possible. And that being said, if you're on TikTok, you need to be making sure you're watching videos, because they see all of this stuff goes straight to them. They see that you're watching videos, they see that you're engaging in videos, liking, commenting, sharing, whatever. They see that when you do make a video, that if you're making a video on CapCut or whatever you're using, if you're using CapCut's text boxes, if you're using CapCut's sounds and stuff like that, they don't like that. Just like your girl, if you show up and you're like, yeah, this is a shirt that my ex-girlfriend got me, and you know what I mean? Like, she's gonna be like, no, I don't like that. But if you come to TikTok and you're like, all right, I'm gonna use TikTok's text boxes, I'm gonna use their effects, their filters, you know what I mean? And you're just using all of the stuff that they provide, then they're more likely to push it, because they're like, okay, this guy's now making a video showing off everything that our app does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's good advice.
I mean, that's good to hear, because that clarifies everything that I've always thought. Like, I've always split tested and post videos from CapCut and stuff, and it's done shit. And I'm like, all right, I just got to stay on the app. Yeah. Same thing when I pull a TikTok and go to Instagram. I'm like, oh, damn, I got to use some of my Instagram stuff. Same way.
Yep, it's the same thing, man. You just gotta.
It's annoying.
I mean, it makes sense, because it's like they want you to show off what their app does. You know what I mean? They don't want you to show off what they don't want you posting a video of this fucking Snapchat filter. You know what I mean? Like, why would they want you to do that? That then makes people be like, oh, I want to try that. Let me fucking close TikTok and go to Snapchat. They don't want that. So, just literally all the attention on them, and using as much as you possibly can from their app, and just honing in and being obsessed with their app is what they want to see.
Learning is occurring right now. Okay. So the next one is going to be, how many times do you post a day? Or I guess let's go back to this. If you had to start a brand new account, how many times are you going to post throughout the day?
If I'm starting a brand new account, I'm going to post as much as possible and come up with as much content as possible. I don't, and maybe this is a weird take, I don't think there's such thing as over posting. I really don't, especially on an app like TikTok. It's just, there's so many videos getting watched daily, man. Like, dude, your average person probably spends like 4 hours a day on TikTok.
Probably.
There's no telling how many videos goes across like their face. You know what I mean? So I don't think there's such thing as overposting. Now, the problem you will run into is, well, depending on the content you're making, the problem you'll run into is running out of ideas, unless you're a dancer. But yeah, if running out of ideas is a tough thing. So if it's one of those things, then that's when you really have to start like deciding, okay, shit, I only have like 7 ideas this week. Maybe I don't need to post 5 today, 2 tomorrow. You know what I mean? Then you need to start spreading them out, because what you don't want is one of these videos to pop off, and let's say it fucking blows up and you gain 100,000 followers from this video, and now all these 100,000 people are waiting for you to post again.
And it's crap.
And you don't have anything to post now for 7 days. You're out of ideas because you posted all your shit already. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Would you recommend somebody just takes 1 day or 2 days a week and they just record a just crap ton of videos and that just gets them good?
Yeah, that's what I do. Or try to. I mean, obviously you'll have ideas that'll come to you randomly throughout the week. So, I mean, you can film another one, but I like to try to do all of my stuff on Mondays. So okay. I'll spend the first half of my day, I'll wake up and drink some coffee, and I'll film till like 1 o'clock. And then from like 1 o'clock on, I'll just edit all those videos and try to get as much of those done as possible. You know what I mean? And then depending on how many I got done, then I'll kind of plan out how I'm going to post and how many I'm going to post.
Okay, so what it sounds like is, even though you've got 1 million plus followers, it's still a job.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I was under the impression when I first started, just like everybody else, you got 1 million followers, you're chilling on a beach somewhere on a laptop just raking in money.
I mean, that would be nice, but
that's a joke.
It's even harder now because so many people are trying to do this. You know what I mean? Like, when I first started on Vine, like, it wasn't a thing to try to be internet famous wasn't a thing. You know what I mean? Like, no one, like, I specifically remember people, like, laughing and talking shit. You know, they're like, oh, there's that fucking dude on Vine making videos all the time. Like, what are you going to do with that, bro? And I'm like, all right, cool. You just keep working for the city, my guy. But it's like, I don't know. It was one of those things that, like, people just weren't about it. People didn't understand what it could turn into. Luckily, I stuck with it and
good
paid off so far. So
I mean, Vine was where Logan Paul and
pretty much a lot of those people got started. So Vine was good, man. It was really cool because, like I said, it was just that beginning where you were like, I can make money. Like, I'll never forget the first time that I got contacted and they were like, we're gonna send you free clothes and $100 to post a video. I was like, holy shit, hell yeah. So,
if you think about it, if you're like 18, 17, 19, $100 to take a 15-second video.
Well, and it turned into more like slowly. Vine, people started to realize the power of social media. Vine was where these companies really started to realize that. They were like, damn, I don't have to spend $70,000 on a commercial for TV. I can give this kid $500 and get the same fucking numbers. You know, so like that was huge. And now even more than ever, because way more people are on their phone than watching TV now, for sure. Like, there's no 100%. Question about that. So you have 14-year-old girls getting the same amount of views as a fucking Super Bowl commercial. You know what I mean? So
that's
it's like
scary, but it's true.
Yeah. So it's a no-brainer for companies for sure.
Yeah, influence is becoming the new power. While we're talking about brand deals, is there any brand deal that stuck out to you in particular? Like, what was your biggest brand deal per se?
I would say Whataburger, probably my biggest brand deal. Yeah.
Nice. So you just made like a little just 15 second.
Yeah. It was like a 15-second. It was when they first started doing delivery. It was like during Corona.
That's pretty sweet.
So, yeah.
How many deals do you think you get per month? I know you said it ranges all over the place, but
do I get like offered or accept?
Offered. Oh, let's do both. Okay. How many do you get offered?
I would say if I had to average it, I would say probably about 20-ish offers a month.
Okay. I mean, 20-ish offers at $500K or 500 a pop. I mean, that's like 10K.
Yeah, 500 is like a low number though, to be honest.
Okay.
500 would be like that would be like something that I'm not really super interested in, and I don't know. But yeah, I would say like roughly 20, and I try to only do like 5 or so a month max.
Okay.
You know,
I feel like it would dilute your audience.
Absolutely, it would.
You can smell when somebody's just pushing content.
Yeah, but with the way the algorithm is, whatever's going on with that, unlucky. Which this sucks for the companies, but they don't push brand videos near as hard. You know what I mean?
So it's like the brands to pay the advertising.
Exactly.
On
so,
TikTok.
But I get paid regardless. You know what I mean? Like, I get paid to make the video. There's no like, hey, if it doesn't get this many views, you're not getting paid. So,
I mean, there's also probably a stipulation where it's like, don't make it look like it's just a brand deal.
So you'd be surprised, man. Really? So a lot of times I mean, it's obviously different and it varies, but I've had a lot of people that are like, look, you know what you're doing. This is your job. Our job is to just get you. You know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I've had people that are like, we don't care what you do. But I've had a lot of people, I would say like a good 75% of brands that hit me up, it's very strict. It's like a checklist, and it's like, you have to say this, this, this. You cannot say this. You must show the product 3 times throughout the video. It can't be more than 8 clips. Make sure you don't use this word. Like, very, very strict guidelines for some of them. A lot of them.
You feel like they did a lot of research onto that, and it might be like a year old, and it was something that worked like a year ago?
I don't know where they get it from, and I've argued with people numerous times. I'm like, look, I'll do exactly what you're saying, but it's not going to do well. Like, it's just not. I'll say literally word for word what you want me to say, but it's not going to do well. And, you know, every single time it just doesn't do well, exactly like you would think.
So we'll have a little bit of a dreaming moment for these kids. Let's say your Whataburger ad. How much do they pay you for a 15-second video? Estimate.
I want to say it was like, I think it was like 2,800.
Just for like a 15-second video. Well, it takes longer than 15 seconds to make these videos.
Yeah.
But I mean, you think you knocked that out in like an hour, 30 minutes?
That one was actually a pain in the ass. So like I said, it was about
order
the
it. Okay.
it was about the delivery. But where we live in South Alabama, we didn't have delivery yet, right?
Oh.
So I had to like fake like I was ordering on the app and then drive to Whataburger and buy food and then bring it. And then I had to get my friend, like there's a clip where like I opened the door and you just see an arm come through with the bag of food, you know? So I had to get him to do that. And so that one was kind of a pain, to be honest. And then I had to spend $10 on a meal too. So
Dude, that's a struggle. that just sounds like a hard day, right?
That's a tough 2,800.
Dude, I don't know if I do that.
that one was just annoying, you know?
Are you getting these deals through a management company?
Some of them, yeah. I have a few that I go through that basically like they just have my information. They have like my audience, my style of audience,
and then just handpick you almost.
Yeah, so they have my prices, and they're like, okay, look, this guy has this age limit, 80% female, whatever, and so they're like, all right, he'd be a good pick for these 3, you know.
At what point does somebody want to take on a management company?
Depends on how fucking lazy you are, man. To be honest, like I personally like dealing with all of my stuff. I tried that for a little bit, and I didn't like the deals that the person was accepting for me. I didn't like the numbers that they were accepting for me, and I didn't like the deadlines that they were giving me kind of last minute. And maybe that's just like I went with the wrong person, but for me, I like being in control, and as of now, I can keep up with it. So I don't know.
Financially, why would you want to pick a management company?
I don't know, man. Because I think with this job, like I'm not gonna say that it's easy. I'm not gonna say it's like super easy, but I don't think you need a fucking manager for this. Like,
Well, TikTok now, it's all in the app. I guess it used to be a lot harder.
Yeah. So it's like I don't think you fucking need one, man. Like, I mean, I guess if you just got it like that, if you're like these kids, you know, that are out here making like $20 million a year, like sure, all right, hire some dude, you know, but I don't know, man. I think you really got to be a lazy piece of shit to need somebody to do that for you. Like, it's super easy to just do
I could see that, you know, but like before TikTok, I could see it being very hard because like brands would have to email you. How do they even reach out to you?
Right.
I could see a manager coming in handy, but you know, if you don't adapt, then you die.
Well, I mean, my company in a way is a management company. We do a lot with like the ad side of things. But if we do have a brand that hits us up like, hey, what creators do you have in your network? We'll be like, yeah, this guy's like 1.6, 1.2, 1.1. And the dude's going to tell us, okay, say you come to me, you're like, hey, my video rate's $1,000. I'm going to tell this company, you know, we want $2,000 for him. And I'm going to come to you and be like, yo, I got a video for $300. Right. Like, I'm going to rip you the fuck off. Like, I'm just being honest. If you stay this late in the video, Vesper Studios, hit me up. I'm not going to rip you off, but I'm just letting you guys know, like, a lot of these management companies will rip you off.
Well, I mean, that's how they make money. Right? And it's like, you just took over half of my money for 4 emails that I could have done myself, right? So it's like, it just depends on, I guess it depends on what you got going on in life. If you have a full-time job, if you're doing all this other shit and you're running around a lot, like, sure, by all means, get somebody else to handle it for you. But I mean, if you're just in it and this is what you're doing, I think it's just easier to handle yourself. Now, like I said, I do go through those third-party companies where they have my info, but that's super simple. That's like, hey, look, this is my rate. Don't come to me with anything less. I don't care if you make 6 times the profit as long as I make this much. I don't give a shit. I don't need to know what you make. This is what I want, period.
Yeah, I hear you. I think one of the main problems that like why a lot of these brands do go to the management companies versus just straight to the creator a lot of times is because creators are just like not capable of forming anything. Like a lot of these creators are just hit one video and they think they're walking Jesus and they're like, yo, I want $10,000. And the brand's like, dude, you got like 10K followers. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, for sure. That's the thing. That's definitely a big problem.
There's just a big disconnect. For every, I would say, just from me being in the game, for every 10 creators, there's like 2 that are actually capable of forming like thoughts in that world.
Forming, you might be right. Forming,
forming thoughts in the finance world of like actually structuring a deal.
I think you had it right the first time. I think you had it right the first time.
Well, it's because TikTok has this thing where they just blow people up. You know what I mean? Like they'll throw, because I mean it's smart. They know what they're doing. They're taking this guy that has like 3,000 followers and throwing his video up to get 1 million views. And then they're like, all right, fuck this guy. We blew him up once.
And now he's going.
Now that guy's going in on TikTok. And guess what else he's doing? Telling all his friends on Facebook, hey, I blew up. Y'all go check it out. Hey, people on Instagram, go check it out. So all because they just threw this dude's video on the For You page for a day, they probably just got 100 more downloads, you know? And if they're doing that to 40,000 people a day, you know, like it's smart, but...
That makes other people want to follow that.
Yeah. So if you're doing that to everybody, then that's just making everyone be super, super active on your app because they're like, oh, I'm going to go viral again. They might make 40 videos straight that don't even hit 1,000, but they're like, I might hit another one that's 1 million, you know? So it's smart.
I've got an interesting thing we can do. I know Justin's trying to gain followers and stuff online. Let's get Justin to tell his plan to like gain followers. And I want to hear your take on it. What you think he should change or add in.
Okay. So right now, I do things and we had somebody comment on this the other day. I have more of a machine gun, shotgun approach. His is more of like a sniper approach. And obviously the numbers speak that he's doing a lot better. I want to post 5 videos a day. I'm more of a quantity guy. And once I get the quantity filled, then I start working on the quality of them. So I put out 3 to 5 videos a day. At first, they weren't edited the best. I just wanted content out there. And now that I figured out how to get 3 to 5 videos a day without burning myself out, then I've got now 4 editors under me, all focused on quality. So now that I've got the quantity of the post, now they're working on quality, which my position's a little bit different. A lot of people don't have the money to afford 4 editors.
Right.
So like 3 to 5 videos a day, quantity, shotgun, machine gun approach. I'm going to put out a lot of content. It's going to hit what it hits. I've had a lot of stuff do really good. I've had a lot of stuff do really, really bad. Now I've got people polishing it now.
Yeah.
So that way anything that goes out is better quality. But that is a process that takes most people a year to get the hang of, if not, if not more, a lot of time too. I mean, I've got probably 200 man hours going into social media a week instead of just 40 myself.
Right.
So logically, it makes sense in my head. I mean, if I have quantity and quality, it's going to be hard to lose.
Yeah, I think with that, if you've done it for a while, like if it's kind of been a consistent thing, I think now's the moment where like, all right, let's say, just throwing out random numbers. Let's say, all right, I've done this for a month, all right? I've posted a shit ton of videos. Now would be the moment to now look and go, okay, let's see, is this quality, right? So like, let's see the amount of views I'm getting, how many followers I'm gaining from them, the engagement, like as far as like the comments, like are people more interested in this style than this style? Should I now start taking, like I said, like start taking like whatever this kind was? Maybe you tried to make like a funny one and you're like, all right, people aren't digging that. People are more into this like inspiring stuff. People are more into this like help me out financially stuff. So if all these funny ones, all these like small funny clips aren't doing well, let's throw that shit out, you know? Because that can potentially harm the people that are like, fuck, man, this guy sucks at jokes. I want to find out how to make money. Like, I don't want to hear your shitty fucking jokes. You know what I mean?
That's
so like
accurate.
that's you know what I mean? Like that's how you have to look at it, is go and find out like which ones are doing quality, and then you just start keep doing your quality stuff, you know? And then if you can make a shit ton of your quality stuff, then obviously if you have quantity and quality, then
it's gonna be hard to lose.
Yeah.
So my thing was also I wanted to collaborate with other people, because you know the fastest way to shorten the learning curve is you just ask somebody who's already doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, with this podcast, I can bring on a different millionaire every week.
Yeah, I would
their
say
brain. This is better than college in some scenarios.
Yeah.
No, I mean
Podcasts
that,
are
yeah.
definitely if as far as collabing, like podcasts for sure.
Yeah.
You should be getting as many people possible, and variety. Variety is super important because you might have one podcast pop off that's a completely different guest than you've ever had, and now you just gained a completely new audience. So now you could start doing more of those style podcasts. Even if it's not what you originally thought you were going to do, you're like, oh shit, people like this. Let me get another guy like this. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know, man, just pumping shit out and
That
just
makes sense.
trying something new every single time, and just not, I don't know, just don't say no to stuff that you don't know about yet. You know what I mean? Like, try it. You know what I mean? That
Okay.
would be my biggest thing, is just try everything and find out what hits.
Well, I know I reached out to you, I think it was like 2 months ago before I even really started, and told you somewhat of a game plan. You've got to see us grow very, very fast
Yeah.
within about, you say about 2 months?
Yeah.
What
yeah.
would you offer as advice from the outside looking in to both of us?
Dude, honestly, I would say don't get discouraged is the biggest thing, because
Okay.
you guys are pumping content out. You're pumping good content out, right? For as early as it is, you have everything's good. Your studio's good. Your content's good. The problem that you guys could potentially run into, that a lot of people run into, is pissed off that the numbers aren't there. So then you slow down, and then that turns into you stopping, right?
Okay.
So just keep pumping it, and again, man, just different things, because like, even if it's this clip that like you guys are both like, man, I don't know about this clip, I don't know if I'm feeling, I don't really like how she responded to that, throw that shit out. If you have a girl on here and maybe she shits on one of your takes, throw that up.
Oh, yeah.
Because maybe that will blow up.
It has
you know what I mean?
already.
Maybe, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, just being consistent, man, and not getting discouraged by numbers, because again, you never know when something's going to blow up, and you don't know what it's going to be.
That's actually really good
That's good
advice.
advice. It is discouraging, dude. When you put hours and
Very.
hours and hours in, and
Oh,
then
for
they just
sure.
don't like. You just see shitty numbers for weeks. It gets rough.
So the way that I've compared that, because like I've had a lot of people that are like, dude, I tried this shit for like 6 months and nothing happened. Like I put 100% into it for 6 months every single day, and I'm like, okay, well, the last time you had a normal job, did you get a raise after 6 months? Did you quit that job after 6 months? Did you start showing up late? Like, no, man, you got to keep going. You got to keep doing what you're going to do. Like this shit, and especially with this, because this isn't a normal job. This isn't a 9 to 5. So especially with this, it's going to be fucking hard.
This shit's never gonna stop.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be easy at all. You're in the wrong game if you want it to be easy. Like, it's not going to happen. So,
Joe Rogan, for example, he was like 100, 200 videos deep before he even really got noticed.
yeah.
And then now he's got like 1,500, 1,600 plus, $100+ million deals with Spotify.
I mean, there's a video going around with Mr. Beast, and it's going pretty viral. And he's saying like, make 100 YouTube videos, then we'll start talking. And after 100, then you can, just like he was saying, look back and see what you need to change. Your best one may have gotten 300 views. Take that one, tweak something. Then after 1,000, then we can be like, okay, sums up. Maybe you're not going to hit. But he's like, if you make that many, it's bound to happen. He's like, there's competition, but there's not that much competition.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, because I promise you, I never in a million years thought that my most viral video would be me in a Lord Farquaad costume. Like, I didn't fucking think that at all.
Imagine if you could go back to yourself at 16 and your 16-year-old self says, how did I make it? And you just say, go watch Shrek.
Yeah.
Just no context. You're just like, I need you to watch Shrek every day for like the next 10
damn sure
years.
didn't think I was going to make, like, as much money off of Lord Farquaad videos. You know what I mean? Like, what do you, like, I don't know.
How much did that outfit cost you?
Probably like $30. My girlfriend bought it.
Damn, that is a solid return on investment.
Yeah, very.
I'm telling you, I think the TikTok starter pack now is a gold cross earring, a little fake neck tattoo, and get you a... Joking, don't do that. Or actually maybe do that,
It might work.
Let-
It's
let-
working
tell-
for a lot of people, clearly.
Are you just gonna rerun that video every year, basically, until it dies?
So I'll redo it. I would say like once every 6 months, and I'll just change the text box. So like I'll do one like, can you tell who picked our costumes? And then I'll do when she's too excited for Halloween, or when it's January and she thinks it's October. Like you just keep changing it up. And like, yeah, you can drown people out, and of course some people comment and they're like, dude, we know, we've seen the fucking video already. But I'm like, dude, I'm making like $1,000 every time I post this bitch, so y'all just got to get over it. You know what I mean? I don't think that a lot of people are falling off from it. It's one of those, especially if it's getting 10 million views each time. It's like, oh, if I'm losing 40 followers but gaining 600, it's pretty simple math there.
All right, curveball. Who are your favorite people to watch on TikTok?
So, this is going to sound really weird. I don't hardly watch TikTok at all.
I can see that.
I really, really don't. What I'll do is when I'm watching TV or like if I'm looking at something on my computer, I'll open up TikTok, turn the volume all the way down, and I'll just scroll random. I won't even look at my phone. I'll just let my phone like read that I'm on TikTok for 2 hours or whatever, but I won't listen to any of it.
That is interesting.
Like, very rarely do I listen to people on TikTok, if I'm being honest. There's not a lot of videos that I watch. If I do, it's like me watching some funny Hasbula videos or something.
The goat.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch too much of it, man.
That's probably a good thing, dude. I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, what would you say TikTok is doing to the world? You think it's making it a better place, or?
I think there's a lot of ways to look at it. I think it is finally to the point where it's making people realize that there's different ways to make it in life. You know what I mean? And not even just be a creator, but there's a lot of people like putting like good advice on TikTok,
Like Millionaire in the Making.
Like Millionaire in the Making. I don't know if you guys have heard of them, but yeah. No, like there's a lot. Like there's one guy. I haven't seen him too much, but he like basically goes around and like shows how he evicts people and remodels his houses and all that. And I'm like, dude, this is like good stuff. Like people, if you're taking in the right stuff, I think it can be a very positive thing. But just like anything else, there's a counter to that. You know, there's obviously all the girls twerking, all these half-dressed girls, all these dudes just being tools. So, yeah, I think if you're on the right side of TikTok, then it can be good. But it can definitely be a very toxic thing to be on. And I definitely think it has brought down the attention rate of people. You know what I mean? People do not have attention anymore for anything. Like,
I 100% agree. I think it's almost becoming the new Google. And as our attention spans are dropping, you know, most people go to YouTube like, hey, how do I fix my car? How do I put oil in my car? Now they go to TikTok and they get that video in a tenth of the
10
time.
seconds, yeah.
Attention spans are just going to shit.
I'm going to be honest, guilty. I did that today because my bulb went out on my taillight. And I was like, I almost went to YouTube and I was like, man, I could probably find a 10-second video on TikTok. And so I searched on TikTok because I knew if I went to YouTube, there was going to be some guy in the beginning that's like, yo, what's up, guys? Blah, blah, blah here. Video. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe. Make sure you do this. Before we get into this, I'm going to tell you. And I was just like, all right, yeah, I'm just going to go to TikTok, you know.
That's interesting. I never even thought to do that.
Yeah. No, dude, you can find anything on TikTok. And it's probably more detailed, not detailed than YouTube, but it's like just a Cliff Notes.
It's just right to it. You know what I mean? It's all the important stuff right to it. But yeah, we're definitely losing our attention span. It's kind of crazy how much we've lost it. Because, I mean, next time you see someone on TikTok, which is often, if you go to a restaurant, you'll see somebody on TikTok, just watch how long they look at a video before they swipe. Bro, they don't even give it a chance. Like, if the first 2 sentences don't catch their attention, all right, next.
That's crazy.
Right, next.
You catch yourself doing that too,
yeah,
probably.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I caught myself doing that the other day. I was like, no. I was like, wait, I didn't even.
Yeah, didn't even give that person a chance. You know what I mean? For all I know, they could have offered me $1,000 at the end of this video.
Have y'all ever seen the videos where it's like somebody like talking on a podcast and it's like somebody like playing a video game underneath on the same video?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Like that's the only thing to keep people stuck on a video. Like Jesse the other day, he said he was watching Rick and Morty and like some like video game mashup at the same time on the same screen. I was like,
a lot of Andrew Tate videos are like that. It'll be like Andrew Tate on the top half and then like Grand Theft Auto, like a car,
something
like,
to grab
some
your
crazy shit. And you're like, damn.
Should we be testing that?
We should be testing that.
Put just a Grand Theft Auto clip on the bottom.
That's so interesting.
Huh. Note to self: put more video games on our videos.
So, where you go next? Like, what's next in your life? Are you still pushing TikTok hard, or social media in general, or what's the plans for you?
As you know, the algorithm's been super weird lately. So yeah, I've been steady pushing stuff, but like I said, I'm pushing it on all platforms. The goal would be to get the YouTube up. You know, like I said, YouTube's the GOAT. You know, so that would be the end goal. Recently, in the past couple years, I started doing jiu-jitsu and competing competitively in that, and taking that very serious. So I don't want to say I've taken a step back from social media, but I've definitely kind of shifted a little bit of focus and kind of like tried to even it out. But you know, I'm still here, still rocking. So
that's awesome. I'm not really into any of the fighting sports, but can you make money off jiu-jitsu at like lower levels, or how does that work?
Yeah, you can. It's actually grown a lot in the past like year and a half, 2 years. There's a guy named Gordon Ryan, and that dude has just completely changed the game. He's literally like, this guy's probably the best athlete of all time as far as like levels. Like how Michael Jordan was so far above everybody. This dude's probably like 4 times that. Like no one can touch this guy. He goes out and just smashes people. And so because of him, he talks shit to everybody, and he just really put jiu-jitsu on the map. And like this dude makes like $3 million a year just off of jiu-jitsu.
Jesus.
Which was unheard of, just 3 years ago.
Yeah, but you got to think like, how much does the top person in every other sport make?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so it's such a small niche still, but like it's got so much room to grow.
Yeah. So and now they just switched to UFC Fight Pass for all like the jiu-jitsu competitions. They're going to be on UFC Fight Pass, and they're in talks of doing, which I just found out today on a podcast actually, that they're in talks of doing like, how there's on a card for UFC, there's like the early prelims, and main card. So they're talking about the early prelims now being jiu-jitsu and then moving into the fights. So
like
that
the early preview.
Yeah, so that could be something that really bumps it up, because I think if all your people that are watching UFC are like, all right, fuck it, I'll just go ahead and watch this. I'm already sitting on the couch anyways. That could be potential fans that are coming into it. But I mean, it's definitely something that's growing, and you can make money. Like we have guys on our team. We actually had a guy that just won 10 grand a couple of days ago. Ran through a whole bracket. He had to beat like 5 or 6 guys, but I mean, he won 10 grand. He's like 22 years old and won 10 grand in a weekend. So
I do enjoy, is it combat jiu-jitsu?
Combat
it's like
jiu-jitsu,
the open
yeah.
hand, you can only open hand hit someone.
Yeah,
right?
so it's palm strikes. It's
No,
actually
it sounds ridiculous, but like
it's hilarious to watch.
What is the?
I just hear people just.
Is it Pankara?
Which one?
Boss Rutan got really big off of it. It was like early stage MMA where they could only open hand hit someone. They could kick. You just had to slap.
I don't know. I know Boss Rutan he always, even when he could close his hand, he
was always
still
open, forearm,
he
elbows.
because he would hit like there at the bottom,
Which you're not supposed to punch someone in the face with your hand. You're going to break your hand.
Yeah. But
I do enjoy combat jiu-jitsu because the problem with jiu-jitsu, where I noticed that when I trained jiu-jitsu for a long time, I forgot what it was like to just get hit in the face.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you'd be rolling around on the ground with someone, and they have maybe a dominant position, but you don't realize that they could be the entire time just punching you.
Right.
And the good thing about them slapping you is you're just like, okay, they could hurt me now.
Right.
It might take me another 15 seconds to get this lock in, but they've hit me 5 times, 10 times between them.
So I think that's why jiu-jitsu is so interesting though, because jiu-jitsu was the first time that you realize the guy on bottom can win.
Yeah.
Like that shit's unheard of. Like, wait a minute, you can be on the bottom. This guy can have his back on the
Gracie
ground
made
and
that
still
popular.
win. Exactly. And funny thing about combat jiu-jitsu, so quick breakdown, I'll be quick. But so I'm with 10th Planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is Eddie Bravo created 10th Planet. Eddie Bravo is the guy who created combat jiu-jitsu. The reason Eddie Bravo created that is because everyone was like, jiu-jitsu is bullshit. It doesn't work in a real fight. If there were strikes, it's not going to work. So Eddie was like,
okay,
all right, fuck it. We're going to see. You guys might be right. Maybe I'm right. We're going to see combat jiu-jitsu. So 10th Planet Atlanta, where I just got back from, which is like our team, we actually have the combat jiu-jitsu world champion that trains there, Ryan Aiken. And his coach is Sean Applegate, who is like one of the best leg lockers literally in the world. Like he's known as one of the best coaches in the world. And they went into the combat jiu-jitsu world's tournament with a strategy of not throwing one single strike and still winning. So he was like, we're going to send a message. We're going to go to Mexico. You're going to beat all 8 of these guys, and you're not going to throw one strike. We're going to prove.
Assuming he did it.
We're going to prove that jiu-jitsu fucking works, and he did it. He literally became the combat jiu-jitsu world champion. Didn't throw one strike, and only got hit once.
I mean, I can get that because like in jiu-jitsu, if you're doing it right, you're not allowing them to hit you.
So it's really smart the way he explained it. He was like, look, yeah, like there is moments where you can get hit, but whenever that guy opens up, that's him now opening up. Yeah. So he's like, or when you miss. You know what I mean? Like you're being kind of risky by throwing these strikes. You know what I mean?
It's a chess game, pretty much.
Oh, for sure. That's exactly what jiu-jitsu is.
It's been over a decade since I've done it, but I just remember that I had to always think 3 moves ahead. If I pass this guard, where am I going with this, and what could he possibly do to reverse this on me? And you don't have a lot of time to think about this.
Oh, not at all. Especially if that person knows what he's doing.
Yeah, you have a split second to make a mistake to correct that or not do it again.
Yeah.
So if you're if you're not striking, are you just trying to get them in a lock and make them tap, or what?
Yeah, so for regular jiu-jitsu competitions, it's just first person to tap. Some competitions will have like points-based stuff, but for the most part, your goal is to make that person tap or give up.
The scary part about that is you don't like in practice you really don't realize it, but if you tap, if you were in a life or death scenario, you just lost your right arm.
Yeah.
You just got choked out and you're dead. Like if they didn't let go, you're dead. If you didn't get out of that leg lock, you now can't walk for like 3 to 6 months. That's the scary part about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You're just, I always called it you're folding some clothes with somebody already inside them. You're doing yoga, but it's involuntary yoga.
Yeah. It's super cool too, man, because it's like what I've seen is like anyone can be good at it. Yeah. Literally. Like I have friends that are 6 foot tall, 150 pounds, just tiny, skinny, lanky guys that are really good at jiu-jitsu. I know guys that are 6'4", 250, huge, jacked guys that are really good. I know little, short, fat guys that are good at jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 120 pounds, and I've literally tapped guys that are 180, 200 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, it's if the technique is there and you, like, know the game.
It only takes, like, 8 pounds of pressure to choke someone out.
Yeah.
Something stupid, and it takes, like, a fraction of that to, like, tear a tendon.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that much force and effort.
No.
And realistically, if you're a smaller guy, you don't have to be doing majority of the work.
Yeah. A lot of my game, man, is just letting people do your work, and then as soon as I see an opening, like, you better hope that I can't fit there. You better hope my little arm doesn't fit there. Because I'm telling you, when my little arm gets on your neck, it feels like a broomstick against your neck, and that shit sucks.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people have never been choked out before. It's not a good feeling. A lot of people have never had their arm twisted behind their back or their elbow hyperextended or I hated leg locks. They're so hard to fight against.
Yeah, so that's like our main thing, which a lot of people don't like those. But
I really did not like those. They felt really bad.
Yeah, they're sketchy.
It's a good way to get hurt too, because if you don't do it right on the other side, you're going to just tear someone.
Yeah, that's why a lot of gyms don't allow them, which is kind of a weird thing to me, but I mean, I guess to each their own.
I mean, a lot of people, they go through there and they just start cranking as hard as they can, and all of a sudden it's just snapped, torn.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess for me, it's just like, why you're getting in a combat sport, but you're going to tell me I can do everything except for this because it's too scary, and you're a grown man? I don't know. That's a little weird to me.
Good. All right, so we're going to wrap this out, and appreciate all the advice that you gave. A lot of people are going to benefit from this.
I hope so.
That are first starting out.
Yeah.
I mean, the target audience for this is everyone, almost.
I mean, yeah, anybody who's interested in social media in general, I think, can really benefit from the talk we just had.
Okay. You got any more questions that we can really just hammer down on?
All right, let me ask you this. One final question.
Okay.
Let's think about Casey's not a person. Let's just think you're a random person and you had the choice to start up a channel in any niche. What niche would you choose?
Ooh, that's a good question. Man, honestly, it's changed over the last 2 years. I would say now jiu-jitsu. I would do like a jiu-jitsu channel, which I've started doing this year. But yeah, I would say that. For sure.
And that's because that's what would make you happy?
Yeah. Just because, and if you start making money on social media, you'll learn that, like, it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. You'll start doing things that, I don't want to say, like, make you sad, but you're not necessarily pumped to make this content sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just have to do it because you know this is what's going to work. This is what's going to get money in the account. But jiu-jitsu is something that I really, really enjoy. So if I could find a way to make money, good money doing that, like, that would just be that means I'm doing my everyday tasks already. Like, I don't have to change anything, you know what I mean? Just put a camera in front of me and I'm already doing all that, you know.
That's the advice I've been giving people. Don't become a different person online. Just take a camera and follow around what you already do every day.
Again, it depends on, like, what your goal is. Like,
if it's money, then you might have to sell out.
Yeah, if it's money, then, you know, I mean, guess what? I hate to say it, but you got to do what you got to do, you know. So, yeah.
Okay. I could see that being a hard crossroad between people.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Like, you're just not going to catch me doing TikTok dances. I don't care if you offer me $1,000.
And like I said, you got to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah.
That was where my line was drawn. Because I have a friend, he's like, bro, why don't you just do it? It's going to make you money. You see all these douchebags on here doing it. just start
So
dancing.
what would it take for you to actually do that? How many new followers?
It's not happening.
How much money
It's
do we got to
not
raise?
happening, bro. It's not happening. It's not happening, and it's so annoying too.
So if we get like 100 likes on this podcast, we got to know.
It's annoying too because when I meet people in person, like when people will be like, "Oh, hey, you're the guy from TikTok," I'm like, "Yeah." They'll be like, "Can you do a dance with me?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, do you not watch anything that I do? I've never once done it. Like I don't even know the
Such a bad stigma.
Yeah, like what even is that?
How many times have you been recognized in person?
Quite a lot. Yeah. I'll tell you what the coolest one was when I went to Australia. I was getting noticed.
Yeah, that's
like
cool.
Like pretty often, like twice a day.
So we called you Farquad.
This was pre-Farquad.
Okay.
Yeah. I started popping off in Australia a good bit because as soon as I landed, I just started. It was planned out completely, but I was like, dude, as soon as I get to Australia, I'm doing like touristy videos because I knew that my location was going to change and all of my videos were going to go to Australia. And so I was like, dude, this is great. I think I had like 700,000 followers at the time. So I was like, dude, this is great. I have a whole new audience. I can gain another 700,000 from completely different people. So I was like, I'm going to play this touristy idea. So I was like learning new words and like butchering the words and being like acting like I was pumped about learning these words and about these animals and these spiders and all this. And it just took off. And that was pretty cool because a lot of people recognized me there. I actually ended up doing a meetup because they were like, do a meetup. So I did a meetup and like 37 people came, which is pretty good for being across the
fucking wild.
You know what I mean? Like
Having a fan base.
yeah, 37
across-
people.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool.
I see when you see the Nelk Boy meetups, there's like thousands of people that try to show up.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, that's a whole nother level. Well, all right. Is there anything else you want to touch on, like that we kind of missed out?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Just make sure if you guys are watching, you guys are supporting, comment, engage, do it all.
Guys, 100%. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. And yeah, without any further ado, all the links will be down below, by the way. So if you want to check his socials out, check Justin's out or mine, click down below. But yeah, without any further ado, we're going to end this thing out, guys.